So welcome to this video, and in this video I'm going to be looking at the Fiat Ducato 2024 Series 9, its multimedia display. And if you've ever wondered how to get to your audio settings, or how to use Google Maps, or how to stream music, and you found these menus a little bit complicated, then this video is for you. Right, let's show you the display. This is the Uconnect display. We've got buttons down here to access the main areas. That shows the main display, the home button. The media shows you what media obviously you're using, and it will tell you the available sources, the folder tracks, and any audio settings. We'll cover these in more detail in a minute. Comfort is really about the air conditioning. I tend not to use that, but it will allow you to choose where you want the heating directed, how you want the fans. It really sort of duplicates the buttons underneath the display, these ones down here, and I don't see the need for it, to be perfectly honest, but there you are, it's there. This is the navigation system, and this is a fully featured navigation system that the van comes with. You can input the size and the weight and everything into that, and I'll cover that in a bit more detail later. Button marked Android Auto is access to either the phone or the Android Auto or Apple Carplay. Button marked Vehicle, access to vehicle settings, and the apps are the apps that, and if I just put that on all, are the various apps that are built into the system. And again, we'll cover that in a bit more detail. Right, I'll just go back to the home screen and tell you what some of the settings are up here. Over here, you've got a profile button, and that allows you to add different profiles. You can add another profile there if you want to. I'm not going to use that. It would allow obviously for different drivers different preferences. That tells you if there's any notifications, and you can clear the notifications there. That button there, which is not actually doing it, sorry, that display there where it says 3 hours, the temperature outside. Obviously you've got the time at the top there, you've got what radio station you're tuned to, and over here are the voice prompts, so you can choose voice prompts.
Cancelled.
And over here finally on the right hand side is the temperature outside. So let's have a look at the media display in a bit more detail. So on the media screen you've got the various sources you can choose: Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, DAB radio. If you want to plug a phone directly in, you can do that as well. And when you go to that, it tells you what sources you're actually using at the moment. So I'm using my phone on Android Auto, which says Robert's iPhone, that's actually Jeddy's iPhone. And that will allow you either to choose the music or the phone itself, or if I wanted to switch to Apple CarPlay, I could use that button there. So back to the media screen, and you've got the USB. If I've got anything plugged into the USB, that would be the source as well. I tend to leave it on Android Auto because we tend to listen to greatest hits radio, as you can see on here. The lower part is the play and next track options that you've got there. Obviously you've got shuffle tracks if you were listening to an iPod, and there's some old technology. Or you could do a shuffle there, next track, previous track, randomize them, and pause if you need to pause the music. You do it there. And the I button tells you what track's playing if you need to know. If I go to DAB radio, I'll try and make sure I've got this turned down. So I've got all the, let me show you all the presets I've got set up on there. So obviously you've got Planet Rock. It goes to Planet Rock. You've got Smooth, Radio 6, and obviously if you tune it in and you press and hold one of those presets, it will store it. And you've obviously got FM presets and even AM presets on there. Does anyone use AM these days? And you're using this button here to go back to what you want to listen to. Or if I wanted to go to AM, the AM presets, or back to DAB. Yeah, it's quite good, quite good. Yeah, if I want to browse when I'm listening to a radio station, I can press that button and it will go to whatever comes up. So in the media settings, we've got the sources that obviously you can select, different sources. If we choose DAB radio and go to DAB radio, we've also got browse here, so you can use that to look at all the presets that you've got, all the radio presets you want, or you can do what genre you might want. Not sure what ensemble is. Oh, that's the various sort of local stations. So you've got the whole list of radio stations there, which is quite useful. So once you've found a station that you like, you can add it to a preset. So if you press and hold a free preset, it'll put it on there. You can sort by ABC, or you can just have one starting with P or G. And you've got 4 audio settings here as well. This one is a fader and left and right. I tend to leave it over there because this has got a 15-minute timeout. Up there. Because this has got a 15-minute timeout, there's no point playing anything in the back and listening to the radio in the back because it times out after 15 minutes, which is particularly annoying. Equalizer, so 3 positions, the bass, mid and treble. Speed adjusted volume 2 seems to work, it increases it slightly when it gets a bit faster. Autoplay it's to do with USB devices, and when you plug a USB device in, it will automatically start playing, would you believe? Further down you've got a setting here which recalls in this setting the station that was on when you turn on, or you can have that off and choose a station, whatever you want to do. That option, radio off with the door, I don't actually use that, but if you open the door, obviously it switches the radio off. This is a useful one to get to. The volume adjustment, you've got 4 different volumes that you can have. The media is obviously what you're playing. The phone is the phone volume, so if you listen to calls you might want to turn that up a little bit. Navigation is the strength of the navigation commands and voices. And the other one is the voice recognition. You might want to turn that up if it's not hearing you properly. So that's the media screen. Now the comfort screen is for setting the air conditioning. Which you can override using the buttons below. But that was max air conditioning. That's air conditioning. That's for the screen. You have got rear on there. I haven't got a rear heated screen, but you can direct where you want the thing to go, or you can switch it all off. I tend to leave it on auto, which is that button there. I tend to use the buttons below. Never really use this screen. You've got the recirculating control there as well, noticed. Right, I'm going to have a quick look at Android Auto. Now Android Auto connects your smartphone with your screen in the car. What you will have to do is to download Android Auto, and you can find out if you've got Android Auto on your phone by searching for it. If you go into on Android, you go into the gear icon, you press that and you search for Android Auto. It will tell you if it's installed and it will tell you what it can do. And tell you all your various things that you're sharing, but it is connected. So look for Android Auto on your phone to enable this to work. And once you've got it downloaded, you can then tap on this drop down arrow there and tap Device Manager, and it will tell you what you can do with your phone. So you can have it so that you can use two phones. I found that actually doesn't work all that well because it's always fighting over which phone is first. You can enable text messaging, you can delete phone book data if you're sharing a vehicle, enable Bluetooth audio, which allows you to send audio via Bluetooth rather than the wireless built into this. You can have it set on charge only mode, so it would only charge your phone when you connect it to the USB. You've got a do not disturb option there, which is interesting, isn't it? There we are. And you've got auto reply for calls or text, and you've got custom.
I am currently driving. I will respond later.
Quite nice.
I am currently driving. I will respond later.
Which is quite nice. You've got an auto text reply as well, which you can do there. And you can customize the auto reply message. Yeah. So that's the do not disturb mode. You can disconnect the device and you can delete it as well. And that will end that will just use your phone, so that's just for switching to the phone. Go back. Okay. If you just want to play music, you can do it from there. And this one, the other one below that is Jenny's iPhone. Although I know it says Robert's iPhone, but it is actually Jenny's iPhone. How we managed to do that, I don't know. And if it's not already running, you can actually press that and it will connect to your phone. Now, with your phone, obviously you can do Google Maps and plan a route on your phone. So if I go into, you can see, if I go into there, and it's got my previous routes on there, so I'm just going to choose a route somewhere on my phone. I don't know, let's go somewhere. Where are we going to go? Okay, let's go to Hamerton Zoo Park. Tap that, and I'll go directions on my phone, go start, and it'll give me directions from my phone.
Head east, then turn right.
And that's using Google Maps, which is a whole different story again, but it does mean that you can use your phone to find somewhere using Android Auto.
You've got no dimensions in that, have you?
That's right. So as Jenny says, there's no vehicle dimensions in that. So it's useful if you're near somewhere and you want to find out exactly where it is. You can zoom in on your map and you can have a really good sort of look to see what's available in that area. You might want to zoom in and have a look, see what the parking is like. Then you can actually use the street view then and see where you're going to park. I like the look of the parking here. Oh, there you go, there's the entrance. Okay, so you can actually use that and go back to the route. Yeah, okay. Yeah, restart. Or jump to the end. That's it. So very useful Google Maps for finding a route. There we are.
Head east, then turn right.
And that slightly different voice is Google Maps. Yeah, and it's got routing information. You can find, much like you could before, rest stops. Find rest stops on the way, very much like the navigation system. And information there from Google Maps. Okay, with no information there. telephone number, and you can share the journey. So I think I'll probably end up doing a whole review on Google Maps here if I carry on. So go back to Device Manager. So the main thing I use Android Auto for is playing Greatest Hits radio.
My 7 cats are an absolute joy, and best of all,
Obviously I'll get copyright strike if I carry on with that. You can also, this is only using your phone, but you can also listen to the sound from what's playing on your phone. So I'm playing YouTube, one of our videos, on here. But obviously you can't watch YouTube whilst you're driving. Go back to main apps display. We've got the Greatest Hits radio. We've got Google Maps obviously on there. Got messages, both messenger and text messages. We've got the phone, obviously you can use the phone app. There's a Planet Rock app, which I have used in the past. There's a Rayo app, which is sort of Greatest Hits radio and everyone else all combined in that network thing. Hey Google, open Rayo.
Streaming Greatest Hits radio from Rayo.
Now, someone will have to tell me if I'm wrong here, but in the Device Manager, so if I go from Android Auto into there and Device Manager, there's 3 options on here. This is Android Auto, which allows you to play music, make calls, and do Google Maps navigation and things like Waze navigation. So all the things are an option there. I think these 2 other options are for playing music via the USB and for using your phone via USB. So I don't think you need to use either of those 2 options normally. And the same will go for Apple CarPlay. Now if you're using an iPhone, and I've got Jenny's iPhone as an example here, is that that is Apple CarPlay. We don't tend to use both Android Auto and Apple CarPlay because I generally use my phone for playing the music, but you can do exactly the same with CarPlay. So there's CarPlay, and these are the apps you can use on the iPhone. So you've got the phone. Oh God, I'm ringing Aileen. Sorry, Aileen. See, we've got Greatest Hits radio via the iPhone. We've got Google Maps via the iPhone, and we've got the apps list back there. So we've got messages, we've got the Uconnect option there, which takes you back to that. Podcast, audiobook, calendar, and settings. I think there's another screen over here. Yeah, there's 2 screens. So we've got, sorry, if I get it to move over. BBC Sounds, Google Maps, Greatest Hits, iPlayer, Mixcloud, whatever that is, and WhatsApp. And we were using WhatsApp on our holiday, weren't we? It's quite useful, using it on my phone. You've also got Napster on iPhone. So there we are. It's actually one of my favourite songs of all time.
You're not going to play much of it.
No. Way walls and tenement halls. Brilliant. So you've got then, so to get out of that.
Don't press phone.
No, I'm not going to press phone. I just rang our friend Aileen accidentally. She rang back. What's going on? So we're in Napster at the moment. So if I can get rid of that? No, can't get rid of it that way. I'm trying to think how I close this. Oh, it's there. That's it. So yeah.
You're still in Napster then?
Yeah, still in Napster here. So obviously you've got various things in Napster because it's a CarPlay enabled thing, so featured playlists, various things like that. Yeah, no, it's brilliant. And if you go tap on there, it takes you back. So I've got the Planet Rock app on there, and yeah, that's it. That's Apple CarPlay. Okay, the last thing I want to look at are the vehicle options here. So these are all the options to do with the vehicle. You've got the options to look at the trip meter here. Trip A is the running one that always stays running until you reset it, and you can press that to reset trip A. So that's useful for recording tours, multiple journeys altogether. And trip B, this one, is just from the last time you restarted the engine, which is less useful. Over here you've got the controls, and you can just switch the screen off on there. Over there we've got the settings. So starting from the top, we've got display, which is what we're on. That's where you set the language. Display mode, tap on that. Setting is saved in your profile, auto or manual. I've left it on manual because I've overridden some of the settings. I'll come on to that. Like these settings here. With it on manual, you can manually adjust the brightness of the screen. That I'll probably need it turned up because I can't see it on the camera otherwise. You've got touchscreen beep, you've got units, and that's where you'd change the units if you're going abroad. Miles, kilometres per hour, distance, temperature if you want to change temperature, and your consumption, so you can have it miles per gallon US, miles per gallon UK, or litres per 100 kilometres, or kilometres per litre. Oh, sorry. And show main category bar labels. Show labels for main category bar. Okay. I don't know why you'd want to turn that off. That's these labels down here. You've got a profile, so you can have a profile for when you switch on, so different people, like logging onto a computer really, different settings. I've got a profile, so these are the profile settings I've got. Clock and date synchronises with the sat nav for the time. You can have 24 hours or 12 hours, and you can show the time in the status bar, and you can set the date here. Phone and Bluetooth, you've got the device manager, which we looked at earlier. You can switch do not disturb all on there, will block incoming text, so if you need to concentrate, that's a really good place to go. And you can enable 2 active phones. So if you want calls coming in from 2 phones, then yeah, by all means do that. Oops. Next one is voice. You can have a female voice or a male voice, and you can have the wake up word changed or switched off. And you can also allow the voice to barge in, allow users to respond to a voice response before the statement is completed. Might be useful. And that allows you to show, whoops, can't get in here. That's it, that allows you to show the command list for the commands, presumably. Navigation, so you've got what you can show on there. Lights, amount of time the lights stay on after unlocking the vehicle with a vehicle fob. So you can change that. I don't quite want it on 60 seconds, but 30 seconds is good enough. Flashlights with lock, so that would flash the lights. That would really annoy everyone on the campsite. These are the door locks. I've got the auto door locks, and that comes on if I can get when the vehicle is in motion. So that is quite useful. It automatically locks the front doors and the habitation doors. You can have auto unlock on exit. Automatically unlocks doors when exiting vehicle. I don't understand that, because you'd have to unlock the doors to get out anyway, so I don't know. And flashlights with lock, I don't need that. Okay, this is the most annoying thing about this whole, if I can get it to come up. Radio remains on for a selected time while engine is off. 20 minutes, or if as soon as you switch the engine off, it goes off. Why can't we have it so that that would stay on for 3 hours or something like that? Something sensible for a motorhome. Annoying. The radio remains on until driver or passenger door is open, or when radio off delay expires. Okay. Audio settings. And that's balance and fade, equalizer, notifications. I've got all the notifications. Now, if you don't want it notifying you about text messages, you can turn that off, or missed calls, or navigation pop-ups. Radio setups, you can have traffic announcements on, DAB announcements. I think the traffic announcement is FM, isn't it? Get into there. Yeah, it doesn't say. I think it's FM, that one. DAB announcements, obviously, from the DAB. Don't really want events. Oh, sorry. Don't want event announcements. Alarm. Not bothered about financial reports. News flash might be useful. Special events. No, I don't need that. Sport events. Transport flash might be useful. Warning announcements. Weather flash, and they're sort of useful things. Allows the frequency to change automatically and maintain, so that's automatically set. Regional forces, regional service following stations. Again, I think this is FM, so we'll leave that on. There's nothing else in there. Now, software updates. Okay, and this I thought was the setting to allow you to get maps over your Wi-Fi setting. I don't think that actually does anything. You'll see in a minute it does a scan, and it's never said that anything's available. So I don't know what software it's talking about. I thought it might be talking about the maps, the navigation maps. I don't think it is. To update the satellite navigations, I've got a separate video. You can check that out. Go back. System information tells you the version of the software and the licenses. I don't need to know all that. Okay, and you can reset it all as well. So I hope you found that interesting. If you did, give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, and we'll catch you in the next one, which is going to be about the satellite navigation that's built into this system, and we'll cover that in a bit more detail. So see you soon. Bye then. And you've got turn-by-turn instructions, so you can check your route